Firstly, the fresher should know the why behind everything. And another thing is that he should have hands-on coding experience. I'm not telling like he should have the experience of working on bigger systems, all those things. He should know the basic concepts. That's the very basic thing I expect from the developer, and he should have that great mindset.
Namaste listeners, welcome back to our podcast. I am Siddharth Reddy and today is all about what it really means to be product focused software engineer in today's world. Joining us is Mr. Prasanna Arthekar, a passionate software engineer and currently a team lead at tech organization. From Android apps at Globant to product development roles across startups and freelance projects. So your transition from Android developer to your freelance engineering and now to leading teams at a good tech organization. So what have been the biggest shift in your mindset? Like एक spark, we are all एक होता है spark कि हाँ change हो जाएंगे. So आपके life में ऐसा क्या था? You shifted from a coder to a product thinker.
From the college days, I have many ideas in my mind. So I wanted to convert those ideas into products. So that's the basic thing, and you should have ideas to develop a software. In my mind, I chosen Android because that's the best one of the developer can do. Because by being an Android developer, you are the closest developer to the user. So every user nowadays, every person in India nowadays use smartphones. So many of them use Android phones. So by developing apps for the Android, you can solve the daily life problems of many users. So that's what the motto behind being coder. And regarding the leading the teams, so if you want to solve the problem, so आप अकेले कुछ कर नहीं सकते. So अगर आप करना product develop करना है, I will have to handle the team. So basically from my journey, so I started as a developer in one startup, and there I got the lessons how should you lead the team. As a freelancer, you should take the ownership of your code and you should make your client happy. That's it.
So you have worked across domains like freelancing हो गया, corporate like Globant, and now you are a team leader at a tech organization. So what was one role or a project that really shaped your perspective? Your एक सोच as a software engineer.
I started my career with the startup, and we were developing one product for food and beverages automation. So I worked with them from that spark, that idea behind the product, and that we were thinking about how we can solve the problems of restaurant owners or the customers of restaurant. That's thinking about that created a spark in me. It was a success, and the boss of that startup, actually he is the leader of engineers. So many leaders they are just the bosses, but he was a leader. He was the leader of engineers.
This is the difference between a boss and a leader.
Yeah. So I didn't feel like he's my boss, and actually he pampered me from my starting journey, and I got to learn many things from that person, and he's one of the legendary persons I met ever in my life.
So you have specialized in Android and Java. Both are covered in our BTech CSE. So what does it take to stand as a mobile app developer in today's world?
As I said earlier, as a mobile developer, you are the closest developer to any end user. So if you want to solve the daily life problems of many users, then mobile development is the best option, because almost every person in India today use smartphones. Many of the users use Android phone because they are kind of cheaper than iPhones. So if you want to go closer to the end user, then I think mobile is the best option, and in the mobile, Android is the best option for that. So as a developer, you don't have to invest lots of money for developing Android applications. So you just need one smartphone, one Android phone, one laptop, that's it, and internet connection.
So but standing out मतलब आजकल AI is in a boom, and do you think that we need to use AI, or like जो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड ऑफ बिल्डिंग अ मोबाइल ऐप एंड अभी AI, सो इसमें स्टैंड आउट कैसे करें?
इसमें अगर आपको स्टैंड आउट करना है तो अभी इन दिनों में AI के भी लाइब्रेरीज आते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू कैन मेक एप्लीकेशंस लाइक यू हैव द कंपनी विच मेक्स सम लेट्स से screws. Okay, the screws they are coming from the conveyor belt, and if you want to check which screw is not the suitable product, we can throw it down. So you can have a mobile application. You can use the AI libraries, AI or ML libraries like TensorFlow. You can develop one application which can say that this screw is not good, so you can take off that from the lot. So that's the one of the basic applications. So another application, you can develop the applications for medical healthcare industries. For example, I made one application for diabetic patients. So I think you must be knowing that India is the capital of diabetic patients.
True. Yes.
So there are many persons in India who have diabetes, but they don't know how to control that because they are just laymen. So if they want to control their diabetes, they don't know about what's the glycemic index. So if they want to eat one fruit, so let's say in these days this is the season of mangoes, and they want to eat a mango for their evening breakfast or evening snack, but their sugar levels are high at that time. So how can they know how much mango they can eat? Just one slice or one...
A good companion for a diabetic patient.
Exactly. So if you can develop the application for that. So that was the idea in my mind. So I developed one application that will take the sugar levels, fasting, postprandial and just evening sugar. Let's say you can take that sample at 6 p.m., 5 to 6 p.m. If you want to eat fruit at that time, you can enter the sugar levels at the specific times in your mobile app. And if you want to eat mango, then just scan that fruit, and by using the artificial intelligence algorithms or machine learning algorithms, it will work on that sugar levels, the list of sugar levels, and it will tell at this time your sugar level, your average sugar is 145. Eat one slice of that mango. Kind of those things. So these are very basic but best applications in these days. So as I said earlier, you are the closest person to the layman.
Sir, this is a question for mainly for the students. So what would you recommend to the students, like what kind of project they should build or like hands-on work should they do for building, learning and showcasing their skills?
They can start developing, like if they want to work in the mobile field, they can start developing small applications. Some students do in the hostel, so they must be facing how to manage their expenses, because at the end of every month they face some cash crunch. So that's the problem faced by the students. So they can develop one application to manage their expenses. So that's the primary thing. You should have that perspective. So let's say one man is trying to cross the road, but he's not able to cross the road. Then you have to scan that QR. If you can paste the QR code on the pole of that road, he just need to scan that QR code. If he wants to cross the road, then signal systems can show the red signal so that he can cross the road by using the zebra cross. That's the basic application. So you need to have that perspective. How can I solve the daily life problems of end users? And you should have that perspective. Regarding the hands-on experience, you should code every day. You should try to develop applications, as many applications as you can. For mobile, you should have just one small idea. That idea can go very bigger. For example, I was working with a startup and they had a very small idea. Now they have the bigger platform which contains almost 70 to 80 apps. Students can take one idea, work on that one idea. Now whenever they will start working on that idea, they will get another idea. This problem in that idea, I can develop one application, another application, and I can communicate between those two applications. By these ways, your ecosystem gets bigger and bigger. You can have the small product idea and you can develop a big product with that idea.
आपने हमारे viewers के लिए बहुत सारे ideas भी दे दिए to start their journey. Thank you, sir. We'll move to our next question. Like, what is the one lesson you learned the hard way while managing a product or working closely with the product manager?
I was working with a startup as a freelance developer, and they had their own product. I was communicating with their product from the Bluetooth of my phone. I was also consulting their team how they can develop some small software so that I can small softwares for their system, so that I can communicate with their system very fluently. So that was the biggest problem. There comes the product manager. He tells us that we don't have budget for that. That's the basic answer given by the product managers. So you have to convince them so that आपको ये करने के लिए सपोज रुपये लगेगा. At the end product you will get 20 lakhs per customer. 1 लाख रुपए अभी आपने एक्सपेंस किया तो आपको उतना मुनाफा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. So that was the biggest lesson to convince them, and from the developer's perspective to the product manager. So yeah, that was the biggest problem I ever faced, and I solved that problem.
So we also train students with business thinking, user first design and teamwork. How important do you think these soft skills are turning good code into a great product?
Mobile developer is way more distinguished developer other than the normal software developers. For example, let's say you have developed one product with the web, and that is running in the browser on your big screen, and you develop one mobile app. So there is a big difference in the real estate. The web platform, you have the bigger screen, and for the mobile platform you have small space. So you have to think regarding how I can build the software in this small space. But it should be intuitive, that user should not be able to think in the deep manner. So for example, I want to click on this button, so what will happen? So we just have to design your application, so in that way it would be very easy for user to use your application. So that's the part of design. Regarding the business, whenever your application will be easy to use, you will get lots of customer. It's from the perspective of business. And last, if you have these two skills, then your business can grow. Sky is the limit for your business.
Yes. So thank you, sir. And now you are leading teams. What do you look for a junior developer? Or let's say, like we are the interns. And what do you expect from us while you are working in a good companies? And what do you look for an intern? कि आप हाँ भाई मुझे ये चाहिए इसमें, तभी मैं इसको लूँगा.
Firstly, the fresher should know the why behind everything. Okay. So for example, I am working on one software. So if he joins my team, let's say I am developing one product, and he joins my team, and he should know why behind that idea, the purpose behind that idea. If he gets the purpose behind that idea, then it's great for him. And another thing is that he should have hands-on coding experience. I am not telling like he should have the experience of working on bigger systems, all those things. He should know the basic concepts. That's the very basic thing I expect from the developer, and he should have that great mindset. So yeah, मुझे एक चीज़ डेवलप करने के लिए मिल रही है. So I am getting that much experience. So ये सबसे पहले ये अगर मन में होगा तो वो बहुत अच्छा काम कर सकता है.
Not only skills but enthusiasm also is important. Yes. So you have worked for 7 years in freelancing, and that's impressive, really impressive. How do you build a client trust, and what can students learn from this?
Okay, if you want to build a client's trust, you are committing client that I will give some X kind of work to you. Okay, so you should give him X plus 1. So at that way you can make your client happy. For example, let's say I am developing one system from the client. Let's say I am developing e-commerce system for my client, and say he just want to sell mobiles, online mobile shop. I just gave him some extra things in that system so that it would be easier for him in the future. So in that way you can build the client's trust. And another thing is that if you have developed one software for the client, you should be able to give service after after sales service. Bought the car from one showroom, then you look forward to that how he gives you the service after sales service. So that same reflects in the software development also. You should give the best after sales service so that your clients get happy. So that's the key thing.
So, sir, let's have some rapid fire. So, Python or C++?
C++.
Java or C++?
That's the trickier question. I will go for C++.
See. Chai or coffee?
Chai.
That's great, sir. And car or bike? Which person? What would you like to ride? Car or bike?
You are confusing me. Car.
That's good, sir. So let's get into some personal reflecting and advice questions. Like, sir, you have done everything from coding, mentoring, and leading. Looking back, what's the one piece of advice you would wish you'd follow more seriously when starting your career?
If you want to be the good coder, you should know data structures and algorithms. There are 4 stages as per my experience. I say there are 4 stages in the software development. One is data generation, one is data collection, then another stage is data science, that is segregating the data. So analysis of data, and fourth one is processing that data. So let's say if you want to build a system, if you want to be the mobile developer, then you come at the first stage. You generate the data. For example, if you are using Instagram and one of your friends shared the video of Sachin Tendulkar, and if you like that video, so what you have done, you have not just tapped on the like button. That like button, so you have generated the data. You liked the video of Sachin Tendulkar. That data got collected to the server of Instagram. That data, the server sent that data to the data analysis. So what kind of videos you like. So that the analysis of the system will do the analysis on that, and according to that they will send the videos on the Instagram. So that's the thing. So you just have to decide on which layer you have to work. So decide that. And if you in these days, many of students I get to see, they want to work on AI and ML. Firstly, they should know the full forms. For example, AI means artificial intelligence, and what is ML? The machine learning. So for these things, there are algorithms for artificial intelligence and machine learning. So to run those algorithms, you should know how to structure your data. So for that, you should know the data structures. In these days, I also get to see that if you want to do the coding of data structures, students usually go to the C language. That's not necessary. You should do the coding of data structures in the C language. You can use any language. For example, let's say if you are learning the Python, you can do the coding of data structure in the Python. What is the data structure? So structuring your data and presenting it to the user. So read in the book of Aaron Tannenbaum. So he says that if you write int a is equal to 10, that int is also a data structure. Why? So you are data structure means you are structuring the data and you are representing it to the someone. So by writing int, you are booking the space of 4 bytes. Okay, if int a is equal to 10, that 10 means you are writing some data in binary format in that 4 bytes. Okay, so you are structuring your data, and the end user of that data means the operating system. You are representing data to the systems. In that way, that int also be the data structure. So you should know why behind that, the purpose behind the data structure.
So there are many viewers who are gonna start with coding, or not only coding, there are students who want to go for the ML or let's say algorithm side. So what guru mantra you would give to them?
Before developing your code, you should try to solve that problem on paper. If you are able to try to solve that problem on the paper, coding is just another thing. Developing the code is very much easier than solving that problem on the paper. So first learn to solve that problem on the paper, and then you can do the coding.
Sir, if you had to leave one message for all our ITM students who are dreaming of becoming strong product developers or team leads one day, what would it be?
Let's say they want to join product development organization. So if they join, in first 6 months they should study what the product is, and after that, if they learn how the product is getting developed and what's the idea behind that product, Now they should work on the development of that product. Once again, they should know why behind those things. And if they want to start their own product development organization, they should know why I am developing this product and what problem I am going to solve developing this product. So that's the basic thing they should know. And the main is that they should do the coding. जितना hands on experience वो लोग लेंगे उतना ज़्यादा उनका अंडरस्टैंडिंग बढ़ेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल पहले तो कोड करो. ओके, if that code is working, then you should go towards optimizing that code. आज लोग बेसिकली स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, मुझे पहले से ऑप्टिमाइज कोड लिखना है यार, ऐसे नहीं होता. यू शुड राइट दैट कोड एंड इफ दैट कोड इज गेटिंग वर्क देन यू कम एंड ऑप्टिमाइज योर कोड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स से मैंने क्रिकेट का बैट बना लिया है. सो क्रिकेट का बैट अगर मैंने बनाया, चलो अच्छा है, क्रिकेट खेल सकते हैं, बट उसमें अगर मैं क्या नया कर सकता हूँ. ओके, अगेन आई वॉज वर्किंग विद स्टार्टअप, दे वर डेवलपिंग देयर ओन प्रोडक्ट फॉर रेस्टोरेंट्स. सो हम लोगों ने पहले क्या किया, 2 एप्लीकेशंस बनाए फॉर मैनेजर एंड फॉर रेस्टोरेंट्स. ओके, उसमें बीच में बाद में क्या आइडिया आया, सो ऑर्डरिंग के लिए एप्लीकेशन बने आए. सो अगर मुझे रेस्टोरेंट में जाने के बाद भी वही मेनू देखना है तो मैं मेनू कार्ड क्यों देखूँ. तो वी जस्ट क्रिएटेड वन QR कोड एंड वी डेवलप वन आइडिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यूजर इज इन द एरिया ऑफ रेस्टोरेंट्स. इसमें एंड्रॉइड में उसको बोलते हैं जियो फेंसिंग. ओके, सो रेस्टोरेंट के एरिया में है, अगर रेस्टोरेंट में बैठा है, ही विल जस्ट स्कैन दैट QR कोड एंड ही विल गेट टू सी द मेनू एंड ही कैन ऑर्डर. सो नॉट नेसेसरीली कैप्टन शुड कम टू हिम, सर आपको क्या चाहिए. मैं अगर मुझे कुछ चाहिए तो मैं खुद ऑर्डर कर लूँगा. दैट्स इट. पहले एप्लीकेशन बनाओ, वो वर्क हो रहा है कि नहीं देखो, फिर उसमें ऑप्टिमाइजेशन लाओ, उसमें नए आइडियाज़ लाओ.
सर एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन, हर एक ऐप का अपना एक इंटरफेस होता है अकॉर्डिंग टू द OS. जैसे iOS है, उस पर एक इंटरफेस रहेगा, एंड्रॉइड पे एक इंटरफेस रहता है. सो विच इंटरफेस यू वुड प्रेफर. लाइक अभी व्हाट्सअप भी होगा तो iOS पे एक इंटरफेस होगा एंड एंड्रॉइड पे एक इंटरफेस होगा. सो आपको कौन सा इंटरफेस हैंड्स ऑन और ईजी लगता है.
दोनों भी अच्छे. बेसिकली द फिलोसॉफी ऑफ both of the operating system is different. If you have seen the first iPhone came into the market, till iPhone 8 there was only single button they had. Yeah, the motto behind that button, using the WhatsApp, let's say. So I want to go to the previous screen. If I am on the settings screen and I just want to the WhatsApp's main screen. So there was a back button, a software back button, and that was too in the left corner. But if you see Android, so the back button is there in the right corner and not in the uppercase. It's the downmost right corner. Yeah. So the philosophy behind using this operating system is different. So they are both best at their own. Scientists अपना अपना काम कर लेते हैं innovation का. Normal user रहता है. So what's the role of engineer? So you should solve the problem of a normal user by using the innovation done by that scientist. Everyone knew that there is a power in the steam. We can use that power for any purposes. So there was one person, so James Watt, who knew that power and he developed steam engine.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was one another person, Thomas Stephenson. He just used that steam engine to run the railway. So that's it. If I am a software engineer, so in the computer science, scientists do their own research. So it's my duty to learn that innovation and to implement those things to solve the problem of naive users. You need not to be the engineer by degree. You should be the engineer by thought process. That's it. So that's the end message for the students. We should be engineer by thought process.
Thank you so much, Prasanna sir, for such an inspiring and practical conversation. You have shown us that engineering is not only just about to code, but it is also about clarity and how to ask why and communication and building things that matter. We hope to see you again in ITM campus. To all our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, just do like and share this and stay tuned for the next episodes coming up and keep building.